Before we get things started, I'd just like to backtrack a bit, because there's an image I forgot to share with you back at the beginning of the summer. Before Sonichu and Rosachu's intensely erotic sex scene, Chris offered a disclaimer. Unfortunately, the only surviving version of this image I can find is of quite low resolution. I now present it to you without commentary. Hey loyal readers, Sonichu and I, we wish to take a moment to discuss our sexual acts portrayed here today. Please understand that we are legally consenting adults at ages greater than 18 years, and when he and I are alone, we sometimes take enjoyment in warming each other up in our 69 position. While it is good for us, it may or may not be right for you or your trusted opposite gender partner. We, Christian Weston Chandler, and everyone of this hand-drawn series, fully support safe sex and the proper use of condoms during vaginal penile intercourse. Also, in addition, while we also fully support sexual education in every high school, Christian Weston Chandler also highly recommends and would gladly support dating education classes. Because while sex ed is great for the eventual well-earned intercourse after 3 or more dates, it is vital to learn what to do before that moment. It should be well taught how to approach and ask one's member of the opposite gender out for the very first date. Our generation and future generations are at. Thank you all for your support.
The beach. Perfect place for spring break. Unless you're here in Canada, in which case, if it's worse spring break, the beach would be covered in snow and the water frozen solid. Now, personally, I never got the spring break experience in college, but that's okay because neither did Chris Chan. Didn't stop him writing about it, though. I'm Daniel Stackley, and this is Bad Reviews After Dark.
Rebel, you're the toil and the trouble, gonna make yourself a mess. Rebel, rebel, gonna make love to the devil in that paper mache dress. Rebel, rebel, never ever gonna settle, you want yourself a dream. Rebel, rebel, you're a thorn and you're a nettle when you make that face at me.
The episode opens with not 1, not 2, but 3 pages of birthdays to reassure us that the characters are in fact of age to be f***ing on camera. This marks the first time that Chris would retcon something in Sonichu. See, Sonichu being 20 years old in 2008 can be reconciled with him having been a 17-year-old Pikachu when he was transformed, but the chaotic combo were hatched from eggs born from the Chaos Rainbow or whatever it was called, so they're all no more than 3 years old. Now, Chris could have just said that Sonichus, being non-human, do not follow the same biological norms as humans, so their sexual maturity doesn't come at the same numerical ages as humans. But, see, Chris is not that smart. For some reason, the Chaotic Combo have their birthday at, quote, the Pokemon Center store, which, like, is it a Pokemon Center or a Pokemart? I'm guessing a Pokemart because of the cash register in the back, but then doesn't this mean they're having their birthday party at the equivalent of 7-Eleven? Or a PetSmart, maybe? Do the combo not have homes? Also, Flame the Sunbird, bet you forgot about him. Sonichu's 20th birthday is a surprise party, and hilariously, even though Sonichu wore a suit out on his date with Rosachu, he still has the same goofy sneakers on with his ultra-formal black suit. The next panel is supposed to show confetti in the air, but it just looks like the early 90s threw up all over the wall. Sadly, at no point does Sonichu catch Rosachu in Wild slow dancing, and Wild never tells Sonichu to keep his stupid comments in his pocket. The story proper begins with Bubbles and Blatchu on the beach. Here, Blake, I got this cupcake just for you. Happy birthday. Thank you, Bubbles, but I've already told you, I was cloned from Sonichu's DNA. I was not properly born from a Rosachu. God, Blake, I get it. You're a clone. Do you always have to bring up your f***ing issues? Okay, no, she doesn't actually say that. But hold on a minute. Why does it matter if Blake is cloned? He says he wasn't born of a mother Rosachu, but literally none of the currently existent Sonichus were. Bubbles was shot out of the rainbow. The two hedgehogs make out on the beach. Neither one is clothed, and they're not sitting on a towel or blanket of any kind, so presumably sand is currently getting wedged up everywhere while they go at it. Lovely. The next day, we see a collection of bikini-clad news anchors, all announcing the beginning of spring break. Now, coming live like a high five on the radio from Quickville Beach with Station K Quick, it's Episode 18, Spring Break 2008. we see everyone's favorite 90s fruit juice mascot, Jams to Sonichu, and his child labor enabling assistant Loliza as they cover the events from the beach. The next page is just nothing but fucking text and a cheesecake shot of Loliza, who is covered in lines for some reason. I think it's supposed to indicate that her fur is wet, but she says she's thinking about taking a swim in, quote, our clean beach's ocean, which, you know, it's weird if you gotta point that out. It's like announcing at Halloween that you're handing out needle-free candy. The beach being clean isn't a selling point. That's, like, the bare minimum necessary for it to be an appealing beach. We have a lot of great events and giveaways going on here today. Thank our mayor, Mr. Christian Weston Chandler, that Quickville is a clean city. Nobody has to go home drunk or somky. We've got coolers and kegs full of our famous Quick Cola, Diet Quick Cola, lemonade, grape and orange soda, pineapple soda, lemon soda, coconut soda, pepper soda, soda soup, soda stew, soda salad, soda and potatoes, soda burger, soda sandwich. That's about it. On the next page, we see Jigglyami preparing for her beach concert. In this image, either the stage is actually a diorama or Jigglyami has an eye the size of a beach ball. Oh my god, says Jigglyami. This is going to be just fantastic, Blanca, smiley face. Our first concert ever. Thousands of fans. I couldn't be more excited, even if I became just as famous without having to leave my house, she says bizarrely, in a reference to how Chris perceived himself to be ultra famous by the time he wrote this comic. Though why Jigglyami, an exuberant, outgoing person, would even want to become famous without leaving her home is a mystery. We then see Blanca, here depicted as shown in this picture of her, in a rather drastic departure from her previous portrayal. Interestingly though, her two appearances, based on two wildly different images, are actually one of the better examples of Chris maintaining consistency. Where he himself drastically changes appearance from frame to frame, here Blanca's face is almost exactly the same as in a drawing from months prior, which leads me to wonder if he may have been using it as a reference while he drew, or even if there may have been tracing involved. After this concert, we will be superstars, says Jigglyami. We can have any man we want, and with that kawaii haircut of yours, you're as cute as Sailor Mercury. You're the flirtatious diva of this stage, girl, Blanca replies. Besides, there's only one heart I'm most interested in. Although he's currently in another state of mind and dimension, I will wait for him. Okay, so you might be confused right now. You know, I've been saying that a lot this summer. So, as of Time Hogs, Megan is gone from the comic. Just totally gone. So now we have Blanca, who was his fake girlfriend in real life, but in the comic has never met him, yet is completely in love with him, making her look like a weird stalker. And as just part of a recurring f***ing motif, after the end of this comic, Blanca will never appear in this comic again. Ever. So this one-liner about waiting for Chris, it makes absolutely no sense if you're just reading the comic and have no idea that half this stuff is a representation of stuff that happened in real life. Sonichu is almost dementedly genius in how it thoughtlessly bends the fourth wall, or maybe Chris just outsourced the plotting to Vince Russo. Jigglyami says to Blanca, "You, the guitar hero of this stage, will wow the hearts of the audience." For those of you who didn't watch Bad Reviews 15.5, Jigglyami isn't being metaphorical. Blanca is going to seriously stand on stage and play Guitar Hero. That's her instrument. That's about on the same level of credibility as Wild Sonichu's instrument, the sit and spin. Then it's time for cheesecake. Sonichu and Rosichu flirt awkwardly about sunscreen before Sonichu goes off to surf, a skill he just has now. So, Angelica asks, explain it to me again. Why do you not need sunscreen? You see, Angie, Bubbles replies, I am a water type. Then we get more unnecessary, spurgy explanation of Sonichu biological functions, when the fact is that as fur-covered animals, the Sonichus would simply not be vulnerable to UV radiation as humans are. And it's not like Chris just forgot that Sonichus have fur, he specifically mentions special properties of her fur in the technobabble explanation. My only flaw with the bodily function is that I can't really enjoy getting a tan with y'all, a social flush. Oh no, you can't get melanoma with your besties, for shame. Also, social flush, the highest ranking hand in Facebook poker. A mysterious black Rosichu walks by. What a weird woman, Rosichu says extremely rudely, since she's clearly not 2 meters away from her. Do you know who she is? I do not, says Angelica, but I get a bad vibe from her. From the look on her face, it's very clear that she can hear Rosichu and Angelica talking to her, and is like, whatever. Then Bionic and Majaji show up. Hey gal pals, we're just enjoying the festivities. Oh, the other day I saw this cat gal flirting with Bionic, so I presented my clause of ownership. Bionic stares off into the distance, trying to hide his quiet terror as his girlfriend brags about being violently jealous. Then Magichan sends Bubbles a psychic message that there's a Sonichu ball in the ocean, which he never detected before for some reason. To the right we see, I'm guessing that's Sarah Hammer on the right, and on the left, oh, you're f***ing kidding me. That's Panda Halo, Chris's next fake girlfriend. So Blanca doesn't even make it to the end of the comic as Chris's girlfriend? Holy sh**. Then Blatchu kicks sand on the Rosachus because I guess he's like f***ing literally a 7-year-old now. And then Bubbles gets up to lead him off, and apparently it was all a ruse to get the two of them alone together. But Rosachu and Angelica immediately see through the ruse and don't care anyway. So why can't you just do like f***ing adults? Just go off and screw under the dock. You don't need to act like Dennis the Menace to set up some weird scheme. Frack. Alright, big man, I'm gonna show you the power of a woman. It's not as gentle as you think it is, Bubbles says, which are probably lyrics to a Pat Benatar song. And then, yeah, son of a contributed by Panda Halo. Anyway, we catch up with Bubbles and Blatchu as they decide to drop the ruse. In the background, we see a bait shop and a f***ing pharmacy on the beach, because I guess Quickville turned to pill abuse after tobacco and alcohol were outlawed. For some reason, Blatchu is panting and squatting like he's about to Aw, did I hurt you badly? Asks Bubbles. Only a bit, my bubbly. Wow, didn't know Blatchu was such a drunk. I'm sorry, Blakey Boo. How long will we keep up this charade? You're doing very well. Listen, I have to go dive for the last Sonichu ball crystal. After I get it, I will text your cell from mine. Wait 15 minutes, and I will meet you under Pier 969. I will make it up to you then. We then see the mysterious Rosachu from earlier transform into Bubbles Rosachu. Next time on Bad Reviews After Dark, who is the mysterious shape-shifting Rosachu? Who is Chris's actual girlfriend? And is this seriously where they find the final Sonichu ball crystal? Find out all of this next week on Bad Reviews After Dark.
Hey there, excited for next week's Bad Review? Patreon backers can catch it already at www.patreon.com/DStecks. And it's not too late to sign up and take an early look at the next week's episode. All it costs is $1 per video that I release, so you only pay if I make content. It's a safe bet either way. So if you want to check that out, head on over to www.patreon.com/DStecks and sign up. You can log in through Facebook, so it's safe and secure, and pretty inexpensive entertainment, I'd think. Anyway, I'll catch you guys next week, or if you want to sign up at Patreon, I'll check you out over there in just a second.